Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. So, welcome to another episode of the Crystals. And in this one, I'm going to be talking about charging the crystals up. Now, you may have heard there are many different ways of charging the crystals, so I'm going to run through some of them and tell you whether they're beneficial and also if there's anything you need to be aware of. So, first of all, charging them in the sun. So, you may have heard people say, yep, leave your crystals out in the sunlight and it will charge them up. Yes, it will. The sunlight is really good. You know yourself that when you're sitting in the sun, you feel a lot better. Vitamin D, vitamin whatever that you get, but it makes you feel a lot better, doesn't it? It gives you a lot of energy and vitality and just generally makes you feel well. So, yeah, you can leave your crystals in the sun. However, there is a couple of things or one particular thing anyway, that you need to be aware of. When you put the crystals in the sun for a length of time, they can lose colour. Okay, now this is amethyst, and this is amethyst, and I'm pretty sure you can see there's a bit of a difference in the colour. Now this one I had on the windowsill. It's an ornament, and it was on the windowsill. I've had it for years. It's been on the windowsill for a very long time, and it has lost a lot of its colour. Okay, now that took a while to lose colour, but there are some other crystals, such as types of calcite, which will literally lose colour within a few days of them being out in the sun. So, if you are putting your crystals in the sun to charge, don't leave them out all day, especially if it's strong sunlight. If they're in a shady position or if the sun isn't that strong, then it's okay to leave them out for a few hours. But if the sun is really strong, just be mindful that you may get back and they may have lost some of their colour, or certain ones may have done. Okay, so just be careful of that. Another one is moonlight, and again, moonlight is great for charging your crystals, especially if it's a full moon or a new moon or an eclipse, for instance, something like that. But again, there's a couple of things that you need to be aware of. So at night time, it can rain, and also there's often a dew fall. All right, now both of those are water, and as I've mentioned in some of the other videos, some crystals do not like water, such as selenite and kyanite. They can just dissolve if you put them in water. Right, so if you're going to leave your crystals in moonlight, put them in a container, maybe a clear container with a sealable lid that is waterproof. Okay, and also you can put them on your windowsill in your living room under a full moon, probably the safest bet. Right, but yeah, full moon or new moon or lunar eclipse would actually be fine. Just be mindful of any water on certain crystals. Now, another way of charging your crystals, you can put them on a geode. This is part of a geode, but you can actually get the really big ones. Sometimes they're called like amethyst churches. That they're actually geodes. But if you've got something like that, or a big cluster of clear quartz, you can actually put your crystals on there, and that will charge them up as well. That's another safe one with the geode or the cluster. So another safe way of charging your crystals. Another way that people will tell you is to bury your crystals in the garden, because they are near to nature, the soil. Now, with that, there are a few things that you need to be aware of. Um, I'm not going to say steer clear of it, because it is next to nature. Soil is very beneficial to what we get our food from. But what you need to be aware of with soil, first of all, it can rain, so you've got water again on your crystals if they're loose and not in a container. You've also got bits of soil which, if you're burying one of the rough stones, for instance, there could be little cracks, little crevices on the stone, and soil particles can actually get into those cracks. I mean, if you look there, that's a bit of the soil from, or a bit of the rock from where it came from. So that can happen. So again, that's something you need to be aware of if you're burying them in the soil. And the other thing to be aware of with soil, which is something that I am very concerned about, if you use weed killers, slug pellets, anything that could be classed as a pesticide, an insecticide, a fungicide, anything that is poisonous, rat killer, anything like that, if you use that in your garden, it will be in your soil as well. You will have poisoned your soil. So if you're burying your crystals in soil that has been poisoned by those chemicals, well, you need to ask yourself why you're into natural healing and why you're mixing something that is promoting death with natural healing. The two don't go together. Okay, so make sure your soil is clear of any kind of poisons like that, because your crystals are just going to pick it up, and that's not what you want in your crystals. You do not want them full of bloody poison and rat killer and all sorts of horrible stuff that people are buying in the shops. Okay, so make sure the soil is clean and free from anything like that before you put any crystal in it. You really don't want your crystals picking up such negativity, such destructive energies. That is not what you want in your crystals. It's the type of thing that people who have bad intentions might want. Okay. Some people also use what's called a slab of crystal to charge their crystals as well, and you can actually get selenite slabs. Now, as I mentioned in a previous video, selenite is very good for cleansing your crystals as well, but you can get a slab, big thick piece, and what you do, you just literally put your crystals on top. So I'll just show you like that. Might fall off because this is the palm stone, it's not flat. Let's try it that way. There you go. So it's a bit like that, but you've got like a big square piece, and you can put quite a lot of crystals on it, and that can actually charge it up as well, just the same as you would with an amethyst or a clear quartz geode or group of clusters of when I say clusters, something like this in clear quartz, but much bigger. Okay, that you could put your crystals on. I wouldn't use that one because it's faded in the sun, so it's lost some of its energies. Okay, so those are a few ways to actually charge your crystals up. And of course, once you've charged your crystals up, then you want to start programming them. So in the next video, I'll show you a few ways of programming. Okay, so click like and subscribe, and then you'll be notified when the next one comes out. Let me know in the comments below if there's any other way that you charge them, because there are other ways of doing it as well that people use, and I've only told you just a few things there. Okay, so I'll catch you next time. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.